And why hypnotherapy? Out of anything
Yeah,
out there in the world, why not psychology? I mean, why hypnotherapy?
Right, because it's way more effective. It's quicker and more effective, I think, than psychotherapy and
Okay.
talk therapy.
Okay.
It's a quicker result
Okay.
because
No,
anyway.
go ahead.
Because it's using the power of their mind. Like, I'm just the guide. I'm helping them to help themselves.
With that, I want to ask, tell the people about yourself so they
Yeah,
can.
so I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I've been ever since 2000, so 22 years now. And that's the reason why I wake up every morning, because it's such a profound change in people's lives over and over again. I have so many great stories of how it works, how it's bettered my life, and everyone that I've worked with. There's not one person that hasn't benefited from it. So I dabbled in other things. I was in sales. I did just a bunch of other things. I was a real estate agent for a couple of years in there, and kind of did hypnotherapy full-time, part-time, full-time, part-time, like that. Up until the pandemic, there was something that shifted in me that really created this, okay, don't think about anything else. This is it. This is your purpose. Just stick with hypnotherapy and don't look back. So from that point forward, I was like, okay, I'm not doing anything. I'm not thinking that something could be different for me career-wise. Like, this is it.
So, what is hypnosis?
It's a state of being. So it's a relaxed state. You can go into what's called theta brainwave level. There's different brainwave levels. So theta is where we're most suggestible.
Okay.
And it's similar to when we're children, from 0 to like 7 or so.
Right.
We're all in theta. So everything is a feeling time. We don't have our logical, rational brains developed yet. So that's why we're so suggestible as children. And that's when the programs are downloaded for the rest of our lives.
So so I could ask this question correctly. So is it that being in the feeling state is the state that allows you to change your subconscious?
Absolutely.
So then it's a matter of getting your logical brain out of the way.
Out of the way. Yep, absolutely. That's exactly right.
I've heard of so like I'm gonna put myself in like being in your room. I hear the waterfall or something in the background. I hear your voice. Are they set up to distract your brain so you could be spoken to into your subconscious better? Is that what it's for? Or
The way that the programming, well, for the script that I speak to with my clients, it's absolutely, the purpose of it is to set the conscious mind aside so that it's not analyzing everything,
okay,
And it goes, oh, well, I don't know if I want to really relax. I got my bills to pay. I've got, got to rush and see my boyfriend who's yelling at me. We're in a fight right now. And, just fighting it, because that's what we do when we're awake.
okay,
It's this constant, like, push-pull, devil angel on your shoulder kind of thing. Because the fear is what holds us back. And that's the programming in our subconscious that's protected us.
Okay.
Because our subconscious is our ancestral brain, so it's there to protect us, keep us safe in our comfort zone also.
okay,
So if we've got hurt emotionally by someone doing something, then that's where the walls get put up, because the subconscious is like, well, I don't want to do that again. That hurt.
right. So it's there to protect you.
It's there to protect you.
I was telling someone, for me, something that I learned was that it's so powerful, your subconscious, that I was scared to fail because of things that my dad would tell me, that I got myself sick. I realized it you realize a pattern. Like, hey, every time I'm about to get a promotion or do something that gets me to a next level, I get sick the day before.
Physically
right?
sick.
Physically,
Yeah.
like the flu, and then or you go to the doctor and they're like, "There's nothing wrong with you."
Right.
You're like, "What?" And
Unexplainable.
it's unexplainable, right? So I feel a lot of people deal with that, is where they're like, they go to the doctor, they say there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
Well, I think to me that's a quick red flag. hey, there's something in your subconscious, there's something that's keeping you from advancing.
Absolutely.
So is that an example of a person that could take advantage of hypnotherapy, which I think, in my opinion, yes, and why would that help?
For sure. Absolutely. Because that's that subconscious programming from when you were a child and your father said, well, you won't amount to anything. You're not going to succeed in life. You're just going to be average and, you're dumb, whatever, mean things that sometimes parents say to children.
Right.
And that gets programmed into you, and then your negative self-talk that you do now to yourself, whether you realize it or not, sometimes that's a subconscious thing too, the words that we speak to ourselves. For example, like if you hate your job and you hate your boss and you tell yourself, I hate my boss. He's going to yell at me today. I know it. He's going to, whatever, write me up,
Right.
reprimand me for something. I don't know.
Right.
That job is killing me. It's just killing me, right? You say that over and over again to yourself. All of a
Right.
sudden, your subconscious is going to go, oh, okay, let's give you a nice ulcer so that you can stay home for a couple weeks. Because that place called job, work, boss
It's killing
is
you.
killing you.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I think that all of us, if we really start to analyze our life, we'll recognize patterns, whether for hurt, for failure, relationships.
Yeah.
Why does everyone treat me this way?
Right.
Okay, there's something I'm doing. It's not that they're wrong, or why does every job do this? Every boss does this to me. There's something you're doing subconsciously too. The problem is that we don't know what we don't know. If you could elaborate on how it is that hypnotherapy does that, brings it to light, like, oh, now you do know.
It just makes you more aware. So what you're talking about too, like you don't know what you don't know, somewhat on a conscious level, you have to go, okay, something's up here. What needs to change because this pattern is not working for me anymore.
Right.
So you have to be aware that there is a problem and not in denial, first off, right?
Right.
And then once you recognize that, you're going, okay, what can I do about this?
Right.
Well, hypnotherapy gets to your subconscious program to get you aware, to get you awake.
And
So that you're not just on autopilot all the time.
I know a lot of friends that have had some crazy experiences, and I'm thinking right now of, what is your most, I guess, in your practice that you could say, wow, this one really, I'm so happy I'm doing this because this person's life changed.
Yeah. Oh,
Do you have like the one that really like you can think of that's like, wow?
I have so many. Seriously. But if I had to pick a couple that come to mind, is there was a girl I was working with who, because she was so masculine energy, her feminine masculine side was so masculine that she realized that she's like, I want to open up my feminine side. I'm having issues with my relationships with men, and she wanted to change that. So just without me specifically working on saying, hey, you're not going to want to go to boxing anymore, we just worked on opening up that part of her, the feminine side, and the issues that was creating, why was she so masculine, getting to the root cause of that. So much so that she just didn't need to go to boxing anymore.
And not that boxing's bad. I mean,
Right,
if you
yeah.
like it, it's good.
There was
right?
a specific reason why she
Right.
went, though, to get out her anger.
Gotcha.
Right? It was a venting kind of thing, releasing of that anger. So we worked on the anger
Oh.
so that she no longer had a need to get that out because it wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting, right? The things you do.
Yeah.
I know a friend who, it's nuts. Like, also was dating the same kind of people till they kind of like, oh,
Yes.
I realized I was connecting with
Yeah.
my mom. Like, what the
Sure.
the way my mom treated me now is like, and I expected that of everyone.
Right.
That's another one, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I think, what kind of clients do you get the most?
Women.
Women?
Yeah.
Is that what you like working with?
And yeah, I guess so. It's just like I believe in signs, and the universe brought me my, I guess, niche or specialty because I've been in bad relationships, and I realized where it came from. My mother was a narcissist,
Okay.
and so I was just, the subconscious mind loves familiar. It loves what it knows.
Right.
'Cause again, it's that comfort zone kind of thing. So if that's all that I was familiar with and all I knew, then I went right into a relationship when I was 19 years old with a narcissist. It was just like her.
Okay.
Yeah. Until I woke up and I said, what the hell am I doing here? This is like killing my spirit.
Okay.
So I left and started working on myself a little bit, but then I met another narcissist.
Attracted another one, huh?
I did.
In a different body.
It was different, though. It was a different type of narcissist, which is why I didn't see that one coming. But anyway, then I got done with that relationship, and on my healing journey, about 2 years ago, is when the universe kept bringing me women that had the same story as I had.
Okay.
Like, oh, I didn't recognize that story. That's my story.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I feel like that's what I feel really passionate about, lights a fire under me, because I don't want women to have to go through what I went through for so long, to know that there's another way, there's a quicker way to get out of that pattern.
Right. So now, women, if you are listening to this, I guess this is great. Now you have a resource to go to. She's local here in Phoenix, but one thing I can say, you can elaborate to, is I know and I've heard of hypnotherapists doing their sessions over Zoom, and that it can also be more effective over Zoom than being in person. Can you explain why? Because some of these people might be like, well, I want to be in person.
Right.
Well, you could also record the Zoom. So if you did go under, there's a recording of the Zoom, so you can know exactly what was said when you zoned out.
Yes.
You know? Can you explain more about that?
Sure, yeah. And it's funny because I used to do not only, but mostly in person, some phone. So it works over the phone too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've done phone sessions with people from out of state. So when I was like, social media is so what it is now, it has so much of a bigger reach that I can see people from all over the world, literally, through Zoom or, online.
Right.
So the neat thing about that is, as long as you have a safe environment, if you're in an abusive relationship and you don't have a way to get away from your abuser, it's a different story. Right. You need to be someplace and go to your parents or something, I don't know. Someplace that's safe and comfortable.
Okay.
Free of distractions. If you're in your own home, you feel more comfortable already.
Yes.
So you're able to open up and relax better than if you're at a stranger's house or office. So that's a cool thing about it. And I've had a girl, actually a client who I had like 6 sessions with in person. And then her 7th session we did over Zoom. And she actually said that Zoom session was her deepest, most powerful session.
She was able to probably relax.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea. But can you share about, like, get rid of some of those myths and why things that won't happen, things that will happen in a hypnotherapy
A lot of people
session?
are afraid of hypnosis because they think that, like you said, bark like a dog, cluck like a chicken. That's stage hypnosis or for entertainment purposes, right? So, and also things that you see on TV and movies, they make it scary because it's entertaining. If it was real life, it'd be like super boring.
Right.
But so people are afraid of being controlled, like someone's going to take over their mind.
Right.
It's actually quite the opposite.
Absolutely.
It puts you in control.
Yes.
So that's the cool thing about it. I think that's a big myth that people need to understand, that it's not about taking over someone's control or losing control.
Can you tell why?
Sure. It gets you more in touch with yourself. So as far as I think that how long it needs to go, depending on the person, what their goals are and everything, what they're trying to achieve. I think 3 sessions, and each session is about an hour long. About 3 sessions seems to be like the magic spot where transformation really starts to happen. It can feel great though after the first session because it's super relaxing. So maybe a couple more after that, maybe 5-6 sessions or so, a week apart. And then if someone feels like, oh, great, I feel so much better, then if we want to do like a reboot, I call it, like update the software. How often do you have to do a reboot or update your software in your computer? I don't know, every couple months.
Right.
Just to have another session to kind of, reinforce things. If something happens out of your control, you lose someone, dies
Right.
or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something happens, crisis in your life, then sure.
I had an experience actually. The cool thing about hypnosis is that it works ongoing. It doesn't stop.
Right.
And this is the cool thing that I think that Heather's trying to say, because you might not need to go back, because you might be getting, I woke up, I didn't realize, and I was telling somebody, since I was in like maybe fourth grade, and actually I was talking to my daughter yesterday too, and I was telling her about something that I went through as a kid, and I was like, I used to always think this because of something that I felt from my parents, right? So I used to always think a certain thing. And you know how, like, if you were to spill water, you say, oh, I'm so stupid. So it's an internal, I knew it was going to happen.
Negative
I'm so stupid.
self-talk.
I'm so stupid.
Yep.
And so one day, it wasn't that, but it was still negative. And I remember I woke up one day, I woke up and I was like, I'm not that person anymore. And that was weird.
Cool.
Because we're talking about 40 plus years to be able to say, that's not me anymore. And I just knew it. I can't explain how I know. I just know that wasn't me anymore. And things have started shifting
awesome.
since then. But yet I hadn't seen you in about maybe a month after that,
Sure.
before that.
Yep.
So it goes to show that it still works later.
Lingers on.
It lingers on.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. So some people can notice something a week later, a couple weeks, few weeks, a couple months even.
Right.
Where they're something, like behavior changes or way that they think about something. They're like, oh, I usually do that when that happens. I'm not doing that anymore.
Right.
I think that's the hypnosis.
Right.
And then you put two and two together. You're like, yeah, something's changed about me.
I love it.
And for example, too, I have another really cool story from a client who was fearful of dogs
Okay.
his whole entire life, and is in his mid-30s now.
Okay.
And I had
Scared of the wagging tail?
anything dog-wise.
Okay.
Canine scared.
Okay.
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 I guess something happened. He got bit when he was like 3.
Okay.
So
Oh,
long,
yeah,
long time.
real little. Yeah.
And so I kind of I guide your mind as far as I say things to you and then allow your mind to interpret it how it needs to interpret it.
Okay.
So to work for you kind of thing. So he comes back the second session. He's like, what did you do to me? I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, I'm not afraid of dogs anymore. Did you say something the last session about dogs? I said, no, actually I didn't. So his mind created that change with it. I'm like, okay, you know what? We don't need to be afraid of dogs anymore. Dog hasn't bit you. If it's 3 years old, that was then. This is now. Live in the moment. That's another thing too. I think hypnotherapy really helps you to live in the moment and be more mindful and not be living in the past or worrying about the future. Because that's where the power is at, is the now.
Right. Because the future is just imagination. The past is just a memory. So you really are here now. So for my friends watching this, how did they get a hold of you? We're going to put your contact info
sure.
on the bottom. So it'll be on there all the time, obviously. But you prefer them to reach out to you through email, text, Instagram?
Instagram. I'm on there a lot. Chats on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just my first and last name.
Okay. Follow her.
Yeah,
Follow her, absolutely.
I'm putting, hopefully, useful, helpful content on there.
Good.
And,
Yes. And I love
so
for
that's
people to
probably
reach out to you. I always speak about meditation because it's been so life-changing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So before we finish this recording right now, I just wanted you, because people say, why do I need to go to hypnotherapy if I can just meditate?
Sure.
I'm a huge fan of meditation. I love meditation because it's done so many amazing things for me, to where that's a whole different topic, but it's amazing. I love meditation. It's another way to change. You could change yourself that way. Yes. So explain the difference.
There is a difference. It's a very similar feeling, though,
Yes.
in that relaxed state.
Mm-hmm.
But what hypnosis is it's guided to you, is specific to you, is super personal.
Okay.
So meditation, you can do different meditations. You can do guided meditation with words, or you can have silence and go inside, So it's more like guided meditation with a purpose.
Gotcha.
That's the best way I would
That's a
explain
really
it.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to put it.
And so a lot of people, too, I get the question all the time, I don't know if I'm hypnotizable. I don't know if I can be hypnotized, right? I get that question all the time. And my answer to that for people is like, you can be, but it's a matter of will you be. It's your matter of letting go and allowing yourself to go there.
Okay.
Some people are ready, some people aren't ready. And I can tell when I'm doing my initial consultation with someone where they are in their life. And then there's different levels of hypnotizability. That's just how your brain works. So some people can be really great candidates at it, go under super fast, super deep, be really suggestible. And then there's others that are kind of like not so much, but it still can work.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just like allowing it. Same thing with like stage hypnosis, comedy hypnosis. Why people get up on stage and do those things is because they're so hypnotizable.
Okay.
They handpick those people.
Is there something that the person can do before they see you that would benefit them? For example, I'm going to say, because I'm a big caffeine, coffee junkie. Maybe don't drink coffee. And I never asked you this before, because this is the first time asking.
Yeah.
Or maybe don't eat too much, because you're not like, oh, you're kind of like, is there something that would benefit the person that goes see you for the first time?
That's a really great question. And I always suggest what afterwards to do is just chill and relax. Not go to work right afterwards. I don't see people in their lunch break, that type of thing. But beforehand,
by the way, why?
Because you still want to be relaxed, as relaxed as possible, so that the suggestions can sink in to reprogram, to rewire, recode your brain.
Is that why when I have done your sessions, is that why I don't even want to hear music? I'm just driving like...
Yeah, silence is best.
And I just feel so relaxed. I don't even want to hear music.
You're still in the zone.
I'm in a zone. I'm like, who knows where I'm at? I don't even know how I got home, kind of.
Yeah, right.
And I just want to go take a nap.
Right, exactly. And I suggest that, if you can.
Is there a reason for the nap?
Again, your brain is getting down to that lower brainwave level, so that's where the suggestions can sink in even deeper. So that's another benefit of being at home. So you don't have to drive. And if you want to take a nap right afterwards, you have your bed or couch right there. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Remember you told me, she told me one time, Jose, where did you go? She told me that one time when we did a session. You're like, did you leave your body or something?
Oh, yes. Oh, that happened.
So how did I look?
That's a whole nother topic. Oh, good.
We'll talk about
Get
that
me
next
started.
time. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Seriously. But beforehand, though, I like that question.
Yes.
Limited caffeine is a good idea.
Okay.
Doesn't matter about the food. It does matter about medication. So if you're on antidepressants, are fine. Anti-anxiety, not so much. I'm not a fan of like Xanax and Klonopin and all those drugs that make you loopy.
Okay.
Because you want to have some level of clarity coming into it.
Okay.
In an open mind.
Okay.
So I said, I'm open, and I ask that my clients are open.
Don't overthink it, just relax.
Whatever experience needs to happen, because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Even though I've hypnotized, hundreds of people, everyone is unique, everyone's different. So everyone has their own unique experience from it.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Well, Heather, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We're going to do more.
Yes,
because I think there's a lot of information you can share with people.
Sure.
And I think it's great info, and people need this. Yes. Is it something you want or something you need? No, something you need. Everybody needs it. If you already are amazing, you'll be amazing-er. You know what I mean? Just, it's not going to hurt.
Sure.
And I always say, if you don't like it, well, then just don't come back. But give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because I think it's absolutely, it's amazing. I know there's studies that show that it's like you could go to sessions for 2 years with someone like a psychologist or whatever, and you come here like for 4 or 5 sessions, and it's like done the same amount of work.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
We'll talk more about that later in another episode. But thank you for joining us, and we want to thank La Mega Vibe Studios. This is a studio that we started 2021. Just started with the dream, just talking about doing a podcast. We've done a lot of shows that have been recorded here. And but I finally said, okay, I'm going to do mine, because now I really know what I want to bring out to you and share with the public. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll bring some more shows. Take care.